Trent was out.
Trenton's out of town.
Oh, that's right. So we got it more.
Yeah.
Channel 83.
Yeah.
Sarah, you ready?
It's on.
7 o'clock. Let's do the ordinance committee meeting Monday, May 5th. We are in the second floor meeting room. Petitions by citizens on non-agenda items. Approval of the courthouse. You want me to run down my mailbox?
No, you should have it.
No,
No, I'm sorry.
I emailed Tammy the minutes. I'm sure in my mailbox. I just forgot to grab them.
I can run down
I understand.
Or I can't.
there. Never mind.
And then we'll come back to 2.
Yeah.
Mobile vendors. Thank you. So this is the ordinance 1906. We talked about it before. We have a very expansive ordinance that has to deal with mobile vendors. The change is to add the Monroe County Farmers Market to be able to bring in food trucks, or basically anything they want to do, which is at what would you call it? By County Health, or the annex. And once a year they do it up on Mill Street. And then and we talked about it pretty much at length, and everybody was okay with it. And the Monroe County Fairgrounds property, they have various events out there throughout the year, and people hosting those events want to invite a food truck or something like that when it's out there in the fairgrounds. We again said that would be fine, so we added that to the ordinance. And we're going to vote on it tonight, so basically, does anybody have any questions, concerns, or can we make a recommendation? Can we make a favorable recommendation for the changes for the council?
I'll make that recommendation.
Gary? And then, all in favor? Aye. All opposed?
I do have a question. I guess I was late here. But the more city-sponsored section of that, so if they come on their application, we can approve it for anything? Say, hey, we're going to add a food truck. Is that how this is supposed to be applied?
That was already in here, the part you're talking about. The last line there?
Yeah.
That's been in there for years now.
But
And to interpret that, you're saying that yes, that
that's what I'm asking.
That is correct, Joel. So like, say this Dawn of Stride Music Festival, that's a new event this year, because they went through the process of getting the special event permit, it is now considered a city sanctioned event, and they can have the mobile vendors as well.
Okay.
Same for like Port of West.
Do we specifically ask them to say, hey, we're going to have mobile vendors?
If they plan on having it, then it's nice for them to tell us that. Most of the time they do. And we, for new events like that, will have a event meeting with them. The ones that happen every year, we know what they're doing. We don't do that, but for these new ones, we'll meet with the event coordinators and talk about what the event all entails, especially the big ones that like take up the whole downtown area.
Okay.
All right, anything else on number 3? Number 4, committee meetings. City clerk. That'll be 1907. If you look underneath the salary of the city clerk, halfway down, third line down. City clerk shall receive a stipend payment of $75 for each committee meeting. The city clerk attends at which the city clerk records the proceedings, provided that the city clerk shall receive a maximum of 12 stipend payments per calendar quarter, irrespective of the number of meetings attended. We talked about that. And then down there, general duties, the city clerk shall attend all meetings of the city council and each committee thereof and keep a record of the proceedings in the journal. So again, we talked about this pretty much at length, but it'll keep everything more consistent between all of us that do minutes a little bit differently. And right now, and this will be for the city clerk for everybody right now, we have Michelle who does a fantastic job with minutes. So I think it's a slam dunk to go ahead and do this. Again, we talked about that at the last ordinance meeting also. We have a recommendation to approve or make a positive recommendation to the council.
Quick question there, just clarification.
Yes.
We're expanding general duties. We're adding the clerk position, city clerk position, to be a member of all committees. which is a change in duties, which is why there's no need to wait 2 years. It's not a salary increase. This is increased responsibilities, with that comes the compensation.
Exactly.
Right, her compensation is not actually being changed.
Right.
It's just additional duty.
So make sure that was
Yeah.
clearly stated.
Do we have to put something on here to say if the city clerk is not in attendance, that it falls upon the chair of the committee or something?
I don't know if it has to be explicitly written in there, I mean, yeah, it should be, but we'll know to do that, obviously.
I would assume it's.
But yes, maybe that was something we should have.
Tony's actually the one who wrote this up and probably wasn't aware of it. If they.
It may already be in the ordinances that
Right.
require for the committee chair to do that, so. As long as I guess it's understood. It's only gonna affect people on the council and things, so.
Yeah. Can we get a motion to recommend this for the general council?
Make motion.
Then,
All in favor? Yeah. All right.
John spread the word.
Nathan, how much list stuff is in your box?
That's what I texted them, I said, if they're not in there, it's fine. We'll do it next week. Number 5, comments.
Recently, we talked about expanding, the possibility of expanding, gaming parlor licenses for gaming. We as a.
You're saying suspend?
No, not to expand.
That's to expand.
For 3 gaming parlor licenses, decided not to expand those. I think probably maybe it's time to say we have enough gaming licenses. We have Casey's that's coming in Illinois Avenue in about 3, and I think we have either 1 or 2 more interested parties. I think after that, we should be done with gaming licenses and no business. And we could talk about this at length at the utility meeting next week, but I wanted to introduce this at this point in time.
So you're talking about the current ones that we have, plus Casey's, plus leaving 2 more open to be built?
No,
Or just Casey's and then have it 4, we're good?
Casey's actually would be the last convenience store.
Okay.
And there were 5 of those, I believe, and they would be the last one. And we had 3 gaming parlor, and we already have those. And I think we have either 1 or 2 more interested parties that's working on a gaming license. And if they come to the city and talk to us about it, great. We would finish those, but we would stay status quo with where we are now.
What do you mean when you say they come to the city and talk about it, like they?
Casey's has already come to the city.
Yeah, I'm sorry, understood that. The other 2?
We know that they're working on them, but they haven't come to the city.
And so, I'm just confused. You want to say you'll consider them when they come, or they can bring it, but we're.
We consider them since we already know that they're working on it. At least 1, possibly 2. But I think probably that's part of the issue is that they begin working with the companies to get a gaming issue from the state and not come to the city. Also, it would be that gaming licenses are not transferable. I mean, if you sell your business establishment and you give up that gaming license, you can't sell it to someone else. Non-transferable. But you could apply for it again.
A new owner could apply.
A new owner could apply.
So we're still talking about capping it where we're at right now.
Basically where we're at.
No expansion, even though those 2 parties are interested.
I would say those 2 are okay.
I don't know what okay means.
So if they come to us and say, we want that, great. They're already working on the process.
Right. But that takes like the council.
Oh, right. They have to go through everything. Right.
How many licenses do we have out? How many are out?
So we will have 5 convenience stores,
Right.
1 truck stop, 3 gaming parlors, and then all of the ones that are in bars and our restaurants.
Right.
We have
How many is
approximately right now 102 for 103 actual gaming machines.
Yeah, terminals.
Terminals.
And what about locations?
That's what I was saying.
Give me a second, I can look it up.
I didn't go with that. I wasn't looking at what we currently have, I was looking at not having any more.
Right.
Right now. Waterloo. Download.
How,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
how
10, 11,
strict
12,
is the
13,
state?
14, 15,
if
16,
you're
17,
applying for a
18.
gaming license, do you know?
They're very stringent as opposed to not having a felony on your,
Did you really
a
go?
bunch of other
18.
things, so.
It's 18 total in the city, not just looking for vendors. I guess it's probably done close enough.
That's the city one.
Yeah.
That doesn't count like a silo, that's what you get.
That's what I was getting.
And what the state does is beyond us. That's a process that takes 7 to 9 months in order for that to happen.
No, I'm sorry, you said there's how many, 117?
I think I heard 103.
Three.
Right.
18 total establishments.
18 establishments. 100 terminals, is what it says here.
So we got one terminal for every 110 people in the city.
It's a lot.
Seems like a good saturation point, I agree.
I think it's the right thing for us
So,
in order to do things that we wouldn't normally do, but I think probably we're at that point.
are we certain that we can control who actually gets buy the lighter? If you sold your bar, not saying you are, but would the license wouldn't go with you?
Correct. It's not transferable.
It's not, right? Yeah, but, so somebody else in line, is there a waiting list? Should there be a waiting list? If the establishment changes hands, the license doesn't go with it. So then does they jump to the top of the list, or is there somebody else?
The issue that you have when you have a certain number is then they become a commodity.
Well, of course, yeah. Your establishment becomes more
Right.
worth more because you have that license.
Correct. So by not saying, if they're not transferable, you can transfer them to the state, depending on how you acquire the business. But that's not something I think the city wants to be involved in, is having a commodity that is sold as a license.
True, but we are capping that commodity at 18. So therefore we are capping it anyway. We're putting a price on it essentially.
It costs the same amount to get it, so. That's why I wanted to introduce it here.
Okay. I know some people who know some stuff about this.
A lot of thought before utility and what we may or may not do, how you would limit it, what would be the pitfalls, how could someone maybe misuse it.
Location?
Yeah, I think that's enough for you tonight.
Anything else under comments?
Yes, sir. I just want to thank, hello, Frank. I'm sitting here looking at her, I can't remember the first name. Don't tell me you've never had that. Michelle. This is one of the more outstanding pieces of ordinances and legislation that we put together. I just want to thank you for stepping up and agreeing to all this, and I want to thank you publicly for, in the start, for doing this. That will really make the meetings and the city look sharp, and I thank you.
I agree with you.
Michelle, I got it.
Anything else under comments? All right, make a motion. Everybody got a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn.
No, no, we can't second.
All in favor? 7:15, we're out of here.